and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to go over a couple of the projects that we have mostly done off camera. And the first one I want to start with is our filtration system. So we put a 3-step filtration system underneath the sink in our kitchen. This cabinet behind me is where it is. If you've seen any of our other videos, you're probably getting pretty sick of seeing inside this cabinet. But I want to start with, we do currently live in a slip on a dock in Daytona Beach. And with that, we have a city water hookup, but as most people know, city water is not always the cleanest. So we have a filter on the spigot outside. So it goes the spigot, the filter, which is just a sediment filter you can get at like Walmart or whatever in the camping section, and then the hose that connects to the back of the boat. And then the water comes in and it goes through these filters. So let me turn the camera around and show you what we're working with here. Okay, so it's a little cramped in here because it's a cabinet underneath the sink. But these are our first, well, technically our second step of filtration. So it's a 2-step filter. We have a regular sediment filter, and then we have a charcoal filter. This gets out most of the impurities in the water, and we use this water for like washing dishes, or if we cook, we'll use this water. But this here is our UV filtration system. So it comes through these filters and then into that, and then it comes out a faucet on the sink up here. This is the faucet that the water comes out of through the UV filter. Okay, so I'm gonna set this cup here and fill it up. Let's move this faucet out of the way. But so when you turn the handle, though, it lights up here and it'll light up down there. You'll see it. It'll light up down there on the box, and then when you turn it off, the light shuts off. And it is great tasting water. It tastes like purified water you'd buy from the grocery store. But we really love that system. Before, we were going through 2 cases of water a week because we drink a lot of water around here, and it will save us so much money in the long run. We're really excited about that. So one of the other things I want to talk about in this cabinet before we move on is our inline water heater. So we've not really used it that much. I think we've used it maybe a handful of times, but there is a kind of a learning curve with it. It is a bit tricky to get it to where the water is just the right temperature. So it's something we're going to have to fiddle with, but I'm going to show you that now. Okay, so this right here is where we have the water heater mounted, but it is no longer connected because when we were doing the motor mounts and aligning the prop shaft, we discovered that there was a stray current and we led it back to the water heater. So we're going to have to revisit other options when it comes to water heaters because this one just is not working out for us right now. Okay, so now that we've talked about the inline water heater, we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so the other project I want to talk about today is connecting the solar panels to the inverter. And I'm actually going to hand it over to Cody so he can explain it to you in better detail because I wasn't involved in the project all that much, so I'm not certain exactly what they did, but I will let him explain.
All right, so now that we got the inverter installed, and we installed the solar panels a while back, if you've seen that in previous episodes. But now that inverter's installed, we have ran the wiring from the solar panels to the inverter. And the path we took to get there, well, first we got marine tinned wire, 8-AUG, and we actually have ran a PVC conduit down through the post for our hardtop. So then it runs straight into the boat. You don't see any of the wires except for on top. And then it runs into another conduit that runs the length of the side of the boat into the breaker. And then from the breaker, it runs down and runs behind the nav desk and goes into the inverter. And the whole reason we ran it through conduit that whole way is it's up to 148 volt DC, and we don't want that arcing, rubbing a cable, rubbing something and it arcing. Someone gets shocked by that, it very likely kill them. So we we touch these uprights fairly often, about all the time actually, and so that's why we wanted to run the conduit through it so no one got shocked. The breaker we use is 25 amp 500 volt DC, and it's one of the ones, I forget what they call it, but it goes on the little rail. That's all we had to do for that because they're ran in series, which is why we have such high voltage. But we have to run it in series without adding more panels. We don't have a choice because the solar charger side of the inverter takes, I believe it's 100 volts to turn on, and our panels are 37 volts each. And that's their like max voltage, I believe. Got that voltage, we can't do like 2 in series and 2 parallel because then our voltage isn't high enough at 37 volts each. That only puts us at, what, 74 volts. So we have to run them all 4 in series. So when something gets shaded, then unfortunately it affects the whole system a lot more. And it runs a higher voltage, but it's a lot less amperage. So that's the good side of it. But we'll see how it goes. We do plan eventually to add some more solar, but we have to redo the whole hard top before that's something we can do. So right now, this is the way that is.
Well, I think that's it for today. I just wanted to go into a little bit more detail on some of the projects that we have kind of touched base on a little bit in some of our other videos, but we've not went into detail on. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Okay, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.
Bye!
Bye!